Hey there, fellow sports gamblers. It's Steel Picks for you with the 5 best NBA playoff prize picks and underdog free picks for today, April 27th. Before we get into today's picks, let's see how things went for us yesterday. First off, Austin Reeves was a late scratch, so the over 15.5 points and rebounds did not count. Not a lot of margin for error, but James Harden scored 5 first quarter points to go over the 4.5 points we said he'd go over. Jason Tatum hit him for 30 to go over the 22.5 points we said he'd go over. Amen Thompson had 23, 4, and 7, well above the 22.5 points and assists we said he'd go over. But the King LeBron James failed to get into the passing lane and get us a steal. So 3 for 1 is pretty good, but let's see if we can't put together another immaculate ticket like we did yesterday. First up, we have the reigning MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists against Phoenix. Now, I'll be honest, there's a little bit of recency bias since he scratched the under 43.5 points we said he'd go over. But the MVP has been establishing himself as a presence of authority, and I definitely think that he's going to do some major amazing things against Phoenix to end this series. As you can see from the stats, he's averaging 40 points a game in the last 2 games. He's also got 13.5 rebounds and assists. So the 53 combined points, rebounds, and assists that he's been averaging is well over the 44.5 that Sleeper has at the minus 119. So definitely think that he's capable of doing that. And as we look at the other stats and analytics, we can see he's over with the minutes, 37.9 in Game 3. Game 1 was kind of a blowout, so that was only 30 minutes. Not really going to take too much stock in that one. Field goal attempts, as you can see, 25 in Game 2, 18 in Game 3, making 13 and 15, so definitely feel good about that. How is he about getting to the free throw line? Getting there at a pretty good clip. 17 in the first game, 9 in Game 2, but a good 12 in Game 3. He made 11 of those, so that's a lot of points being scored with no time going off the clock. And with regards to rebounds, he's got the 5 and the 4 in Games 2 and 3. So you put those numbers together, definitely think that Shai is going to go over the 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And in addition, there is no Jalen Williams, so he's going to have to take up a major portion of the slack. And he's more than capable of putting this team on his back and carrying them to the promised land. I think they get Game 4 in a sweep. He's going to be a big factor with regards to that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Next up, we have Jalen Green going over 22.5 points and assists. As you can see in his last 2 games, he's been able to do that. 21 and 3 in Game 2. And then follow that up with 26 and 6 in Game 3. He definitely is a pro, doesn't want to be embarrassed, doesn't want to go out on the stretcher 0-4. So he's definitely going to do his thing to try and make this happen and get at least one more shot at it back in OKC. As you can see, Prizepicks likes that as well at the minus 119. And as you can see the stats, you have the minutes. He's got 41 in Game 2. 39 in Game 3. You can see he's definitely putting up enough shots. 23 in Game 2, 19 in Game 3. He's making 8 in both of those games. Getting to the free throw line. Game 2, only 5 times, but he made 4 of them. Game 3, got there 8 times, made 7 of them. That's quite a few points with no time running off the clock. I definitely think that Jalen Green doesn't want to be embarrassed. He doesn't want to be swept out of the playoffs, and he's going to do as much as he can to make sure that doesn't happen. I have Jaylen Brown over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Next up, we have Cade Cunningham over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists against the Orlando Magic. Now, as you can see in the last 2 games, he has not been able to do so. As you might recall in Game 2, I said that he would have more of a well-rounded game, trying to get his other teammates involved, trying to get that first win in Detroit in 11 playoff games. They were able to do so, but it was more so about his facilitating with the 11 assists and grabbing those 6 boards. In Game 3, first game on the road, he didn't really have it from the field as he only scored 27 points. Not as much on the assist side and one less rebound, but I think that he definitely understands the gravity of the situation and understands that going back to Detroit at down 1-3 is worst case scenario. He doesn't want that to happen. Detroit is overall the better team, the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. Certainly think that they have underachieved to this point, and it will be up to Cade to kind of help to turn these things around, right the ship. The potential first-team All-NBA player, I think he's going to be able to do so. Let's see what the numbers bear out for us. As far as minutes are concerned, as you can see, he's playing a consistent about 40 minutes a game, and even in Game 3, he had 41.2 for us. Field goal attempts, he's definitely getting the shots up. 27 in that game, that first Game 1. Game 2, he only had 19, but in Game 3, 23 shots up. Didn't shoot a very high percentage. Definitely feel like he's going to shoot a better percentage in Game 4. With regards to the free throws, he's got to the line 8 times in Game 2, 9 times in Game 3, making of those, which is good for us. Lots of points with no time coming off the clock. And with regards to rebounds, he got the 6 in Game 2 and 5 in Game 3. So definitely feel like this going over this 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists is a real thing. And once again, Prizepicks likes it as well at -119. As a friendly reminder, when you sign up with BETR using my promo code WINCASH, you'll receive 2 anytime tokens worth up to $100 each. And when you sign up to Novig using my STEELEWINS promo code and spend $5, you'll get an extra $50 bonus. Plenty of cash for you to make some wise NBA playoff picks and make a little cash for yourself. Certainly hope that you take advantage of those promo codes and get a little free cash to play around with and see what you can make happen. Next up, we have Cade Cunningham's sidekick, the one player that's going to be instrumental in deciding if they go back to Detroit 2-2 or down 1-3. It will be Duncan Robinson. And I think that he will go over 12.5 points and assists. As you can see just how consistent he has been the last 3 games, 13 in all 3 of those games, 10 points in games 2 and 3, 3 assists. Wow, how consistent can you be? Definitely think that he's going to go over this 12.5 points and assists. And as we get to the stats and analytics, we can see he's playing plenty of minutes. 26 in Game 1, got up to 32 in Game 2, 28 in Game 3. So field goal attempts, he's definitely getting his shots up. 8 in Game 1, 9 in Game 1, 9 in Game 2, 8 in Game 3. So certainly getting up enough shots, 3-pointers made. He's definitely got that going for him. That's his thing, spotting up in the corner. When Cade Cunningham comes down the lane, he has somebody to dish to. So far, Duncan Robinson has proven to be a worthy person to throw the ball to in the corner. 3 made in all three games. Getting to the free throw line, not so much, but that's not really his thing. Really, you want to concentrate on the 3-pointers made, which he's definitely doing, taking care of business from that perspective. So Duncan Robinson, over 12.5 points and assists. And last but not least, we have Desmond Bane from that same game, under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, you can see in Games 1 and 3, he's been able to get over that by a little bit. But in Game 2, which was the must-have win for the Detroit Pistons, you see that they put the clamps down on him, and he only had 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, well below the 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists that they are projecting for him. Definitely think that this is a game that Detroit has to have. And so first and foremost, it stops with stopping Paulo. But definitely Desmond Bane will be on their radar, will be having their undivided attention. I think that they're going to pay a lot of attention to defense with regards to shutting him down. And just all around, as a friendly reminder, the Detroit Pistons for the season, although this is the playoffs, and you know that I feel that that's a completely different season from the regular season, but just as a frame of reference, Detroit was 3 in points allowed, 3 in rebounds allowed, and 1 in assists allowed. The same, 13 all around, 2 in rebounds, 4 in assists allowed. We definitely know that Desmond Bane is going to play plenty of minutes. We definitely know that he's going to definitely put up plenty of shots, but we think he's going to put up less shots because Detroit's defense is going to be locked in a little bit more than they typically are, knowing that if they go back to Detroit down 1-3, it's almost a death sentence. They want to get off the bed, so they're going to do the best that they can, and they're going to hold Desmond Bane under 27 and assists. So to recap, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jalen Green over 22.5 points and assists. Cade Cunningham over 40. Duncan Robinson over 12.5 points and assists. and Desmond Bain under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And in addition, the ticket that I put together is Shea over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists, Cade over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and Jalen Green over 22.5 points and assists. Those are the 5 picks I have for you today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the Steel Picks for You channel. And good luck, everyone.